Hi, I'm Sunil Nakai. I'm with SMP Engineering. I've been there just over 10 years. I'm a partner with SMP out of the Edmonton office. Completed an MBA, did some management and business additional coursework, LEED accredited, really big focus on renewables and sustainable design. So I was a part of the IES for years, like Megan and others. So yeah, passion for lighting, passion for electrical design, and right now the passion is for the SMP staff and growing that office and making it the best it can be. A couple of the previous firms I were with weren't just electrical, they were mechanical or mechanical architectural, structural, a bunch of different disciplines. SMP is just electrical, which really lets us focus in on electrical design and engineering, so it's been a really good fit over the years because that's what my education is and that's what I like doing. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
What was your very first job?
Oh yeah, I saw that on the list.
What did you do and what did it teach you, if anything?
I don't know if I should share this story. Okay, the first notable job I recall, he'll laugh if he sees this. I did a summer job just as a general laborer. The general laborer job when you're just a teenager involves doing whatever you're told, and one of those jobs involved just cleaning up a site. And it was raining and muddy that day, and I was wearing rubber boots, and I stepped on a nail and went right through the foot. And when I brought it up, I was like, hey, my foot hurts, I stepped on a nail. I was kind of told, suck it up, deal with it. And you know what? Truth be told, the generation before us is pretty tough. Like they've dealt with a lot. And then the next day when I rolled out of bed, I fell over because, of course, I had a nail through my foot that I hadn't treated properly. So it's a fun story for me, but it's a reminder that everything's a learning opportunity and every generation has different levels of what they can deal with or what they think is okay or what they think is not okay. And it's okay also to say, hey, this hurts and I need to deal with it, right? So,
is there anyone in your career so far that's had or has played the biggest influence?
I mean, there's been a lot of mentors over the years. Probably anyone who's successful in this industry has internal, like to their own company, colleagues that they vent to or get mentorship from, or external. My biggest influencers are still going to be my family and my partner. Like my parents and sister have always been really hard workers. To their detriment in their later years, they said, we've probably trained you the wrong way because they care very much about what they do. They work really hard. There's a level of perfection that they ask of themselves, and that got passed on to me. And my partner as well, she's wonderful and she expects, very high quality work from herself. So then, all of that, you absorb it. And then I've got so many great colleagues and both within SMP and also outside of SMP who give me continuous mentorship and feedback. So I'm really lucky that way.
Is there any advice you would give your younger self?
Oh, what a loaded question.
Starting out?
About the industry or just in general or about that date or what are we talking about?
Good question.
Don't eat that on that day. You're gonna have food poisoning. Like what's the question?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, all of those things, right?
All of those things.
Yeah. If I could talk to my younger self, I'd just be telling them, ask questions. Like I don't care if that's a dumb question. Ask that and now we know, and then they know that you know moving forward. Or rather than guess and make mistakes. Like every time I've made a mistake with a client, with an email, with a project, whatever it is, I've learned from it and I remember and I'm better as a result. So the fear of failure or the fear of making mistakes very publicly, because the industry shines a light on that. Hey, you screwed up, that costs money, what are you doing? Like, we need to find a way to learn from our mistakes and be okay with asking questions, because it's really tough to do that when you're a junior in the industry, but it gets you so far so fast. Yeah.
What motivates you to keep pushing forward when things get tough?
If it were things getting tough and if it was a silo and you were just working for yourself on your own, it's very easy to say, well, maybe then tomorrow, or just give up or move on. When you're part of a team, you don't really have, not necessarily the freedom to do that, but you feel a sense of responsibility to your team, both internally and to the client or architecture team or whatever team you're a part of. So it's easy to say to yourself, if nobody else is affected, that move on or give up. But when the going gets tough and if you're part of the team, there's definitely a sense of commitment and loyalty where you feel like you want to come through for the people who are depending on you. So usually it's that drives a lot of people in this industry to do the best job they can. it's, you know, whatever you think of yourself, you're trying to make sure that that person also thinks highly of you and your firm and your colleagues and everything. Because everything I do will reflect on SMP, even if someone from SMP had nothing to do with that project, right? So it's that bigger picture of, I want to do the best I can so that I make sure that SMP as a whole is got a good reputation out there.
Do you have any other habits or routines that you do throughout the day to kind of keep you focused?
I think the big thing for me, and it's not a daily habit, is just getting together with friends, family, people that I'm close with, and just having that disconnect, going for a nice dinner, having nice get together, having a conversation. One of the things that I still foolishly do is I'm on a men's league volleyball team still, and those guys are mostly not in the industry. They're all sorts, like teachers, designers, all sorts of people, and they're just getting together to play volleyball once a week and go grab nachos after and have laughs, and it's just such a cathartic experience. I mean, I played last night and I can barely walk today, so I'm clearly hitting that age where maybe that contact team sport isn't for me anymore, but I can't give up this get together with them that happens, and just nobody's judging there. It's just getting together, having jokes. It's just such a carefree environment, and I don't think a lot of people have that, and I'm very lucky too. So that's probably my closest answer, but besides that, just getting together with friends and family and taking it easy. Yeah. They're gonna laugh so hard that I mentioned that, and now this is gonna be on camera. They're like, do you have nothing else to talk about?
Is there any sort of legacy that you want to leave behind?
I missed the birthday tour of one of our long-standing partners who's now a partner emeritus, but his birthday tour included going around, and the number of buildings he's been involved with building in our community is just mind-boggling. And so the legacy doesn't need to be this big fanfare. It's kind of like you're just a part of everything around you that's gone up, and that's pretty cool. And then just the legacy for our own company, now that I'm in the role I'm in, a lot of it is trying to mentor staff, trying to shape how our company looks moving forward, and growing that next generation. Super excited about it. So I just want to make that next generation of SMPers the best they can be, and however I can do to help them get there. That's honestly, I didn't think I'd be shaping younger minds ever. So this is kind of very rewarding.
Would you say you do have like a positive outlook, even going through challenging things? And if you do, how has that helped you going through, let's say, difficult parts of your job? And would you say that's important, let's say, to like the younger generation when they get stressed out over something challenging?
That's a good question, Greg. You know, I don't think I've always had that attitude. It's taken some maturity and refinement. Hope is not a strategy, is something I was taught, but hope for the best, but you still got to plan for, if not the worst, but you got to plan. This industry, sometimes you're hoping for the best and you're hoping to work out, but you still have to allow and plan for, well, what if it doesn't, right? You need to have a plan B. And that actually really speaks to me personally, because if we just hoped, I would probably lose my mind. Sometimes it works out, but I'd say a lot of the times you have to modify your plan. So having a plan, even if you're hoping for a positive outlook or a positive outcome, having a plan just in case something doesn't go as positively as you're hoping, has helped me deal with the stress of when it doesn't go well. For younger people who are struggling with how to stay positive, I mean, the best thing to understand is you can be perfect at your job in this industry, and as soon as that starts to get constructed or hits the street, like, chances are something's gonna change, or something's gonna go sideways, something's gonna go wrong that's not in your control. And that might not even be related to you or your fault or anything, and it's still gonna happen. What you can control, do the best at, and then hope for the best, plan for the worst, and communication goes so far. Even if you think it's a dumb question, like, ask it anyways, right? Chances are somebody else is thinking the same question, right? So being positive with all the things going sideways has taken years to get to that mindset of, okay, we gotta be positive, let's find that path forward.